Hey Vivek, how you doing? Hello.
Hey, Dr. Nick, this is Kyle.
Hey Kyle. Sounded like Vivek.
How you doing, sir?
Hey, good. I'm good, man. How about you?
Oh, good, man. Except for this pollen, it's just, oh my lord,
You might as well suck it up, Buttercup. It's gonna get worse.
it's like almost like a chalky taste in my mouth all day.
You better just go and embrace it, man. That's your best option.
Yes, sir.
I your best thing is to go ahead and get local honey, but it has to be local honey that you have to take every day.
Yeah, my
I mean,
mom gave me some. She got some from the Lake Hartwell, but I don't know if that's close enough. It's about 100 miles away.
now you gotta be here, local. This is what.
Right.
So
Okay.
what I used to do, I have to take it every morning. Then I used to put it in my tea, and once it get into the system, it's kind of like works into it, you know. Now for me, it's not as bad anymore. I don't. It's okay, you know. Yeah, I swear by the honey, man. That helps. But again, it cannot be Chinese honey from Costco, though.
Yeah, the Sam's Club honey, the big huge one.
Yeah, yeah, China honey, yeah, fake one.
Yeah. Is Vivek and Costa on here with us?
What's that? Let's see. See,
I
somebody's in the
sent them
lobby.
the link.
Vivek and his AI's in the lobby. Okay.
He may have a transcription attached to it.
Yeah. He always sends his note taker first, though. He sends his aliens out there to do survey though before he gets on the mothership.
Gotcha. And then I think Costa also said he would be available. I sent them a text earlier to confirm.
Okay. Yeah, because they need to kick off though. He needs to kick off the meeting and talk to them about the product and what it is, and then we can open it up.
So I'm going to send Costa a direct message right now just to make sure he's got the link. And
Okay.
then I know it's in their email as well. You did attach them to the email, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We really appreciate this opportunity, sir. I'm over the moon about working on this project with you guys.
Yeah, cool, man. Same here.
And then I spoke with Eric Bell today, and he said that he thinks on the 2nd or the 3rd of April, he's trying to nail down a time, but we should be sitting face to face with the Clayton County Superintendent to begin that pilot.
Oh, well, how much money are they
So,
giving you?
well, I've asked for 8 million for 10 schools. I'm
Hmm.
not sure how much they'll actually that I'll end up with, but we're going to make it work. Whatever we got to do, you know. I'm gonna do my best to stretch it as far as we can stretch it.
Yeah. Let's see. There's more people. Who else? Oh, Vivek is.
I've requested a 2-year pilot so that we don't have to be constrained to only one session. That way we can work, over the course of
Just
2 years.
make sure you document everything.
Yes,
The
sir.
most important thing,
Absolutely.
documentation. Yeah. You might want to hire some people to start documenting.
So I'm communicating them via text and email to make sure that I have that, and I'm taking screenshots of important conversation. But yes, you're right. I do need to put in the budget somebody to assist with all that type of stuff going forward, for sure.
See, what time do we have? 7:03. We'll give them Give me a few more minutes, folks. I know David's here. David, what happened to the rest of your crew, man? David, you're on mute.
Just me so far.
Yeah, what's up with your crew? Crazy, ain't it?
Crazy Tuesday, I guess.
I don't know. You tell me.
Ha!
This is this is why it's scheduled at 7 o'clock. Give people a chance to get back home and jump on this call and get it moving. But you know what? You're here. That's all matters, right?
I know some school systems are on spring break, so maybe people are off. I don't know.
Are they? I thought spring break doesn't start till next week, I think. No, not even next week, right?
Some of the
The
private
week
schools
after.
are out.
Oh, are they? Okay. Cobb
Yeah, it's
County is
all
out
over the
first.
board.
Oh, okay. First week of April. But I guess we
So
must have some real friends here.
Vivek says he's on the call, sir. Do you see him?
Yeah, I see him. Yeah, he's there.
Okay.
All right, we'll give him another few more minutes. So, David, what do you do?
I run a wealth management firm.
Okay. Money guy.
Money guy. Money
There
guy.
you go.
Actually didn't found my wealth management firm until the pandemic hit, like April 1st, 2020.
Oh, okay. Now we have partnership with Brown Capital.
Oh
He's a
yeah?
VC. Yeah, and he's also a partner of KSU, and he does a
Well, that's
lot of
pretty
work with our
cool.
fintech program. He supports us monetarily. He does some work with us, investment. Then he's also got a group of VCs that we are working with on the fintech incubator. So he's got a bunch of his investors that are going to be joining us. So here you go, man. You might want to bring some of your folks here too, because I'm launching a fintech beta here very soon. Because we have students who come up with ideas, right? Who need funding. If the idea is great, yeah, you guys can fund it. If not, it's fine. So we get them ready for MVP, and then we'll go from there. And then talking about funding too, I know Kyle has been working with AllSafeApp, and they are state funded. I think they're going to get some funding from the state to do their project.
It's pretty
So
cool.
just to touch on that, Dr. Nick, I appreciate you mentioning it. We are open to private funding partnerships with the AllSafe station. With the app itself, we're trying to work with the GBHDD to develop that software through the protocols that GEMA, which is Georgia Emergency Management Agency, as well as the governor's office and his wife, Marty Kemp. She is big on mental health. So I'm hoping to continue to access state funding for the app, but I would love to, after this call or at an appropriate time, talk with any private investors regarding the safety stations, because we have a lot of interest in those. And obviously each one will take, a couple of weeks to assemble. So I'm hoping to work with somebody long-term on that.
Okay. All right. So I think in essence of time, right? It's being recorded, folks. So I'll post it tomorrow, day after. So the project here, we have David here, who's a student, right? And I have Vivek, who works with AllSafeApp, and also have Kyle with AllSafeApp. We don't have Costa yet, right? I don't think he's joined us. So let's talk about what AllSafeApp is, right? You guys, if you want to go ahead, Kyle, go ahead and get started. Just on a high level, who you are, what you do. I don't want to do a deep dive into the stations yet, right? We started off with
Yes,
the
sir.
AllSafe app. So let's just talk to David, explain to him what AllSafe app is about. And then Vivek, if you want to jump in about the payment side, right? If you want to touch base on that. Vivek, you here? You're on mute.
Yeah, I'm here.
You're on mute.
Just let me know how
All
to jump in.
right. Okay. All right, go
I'd
ahead,
love to
Kyle.
let Vivek go first if you want for a change, and then I'll jump in after him.
No,
Go
you're
ahead,
going to
Vivek.
talk about the product. That's right. Yeah. Tell the class what AllSafe app is and what you guys planning to do and why you created this whole program, right?
Okay, yes,
If you
sir.
want to,
So,
your mission,
thank you for the
statement, everything.
thank you for the opportunity. My name is Kyle. I'm the founder of the AllSafe app. This grew out of a urgent need for police to be at every school in the state of Georgia. My daughters go to a private school that did not have police at the time that I began this project, and I began looking through county, city, and state resources, and found that K through 5 and often every private school in most neighborhoods do not have a security guard that's armed present at the time that students and teachers are available. And through my research, we found that mental health was the root and the reason that a lot of these violent incidents are occurring in and around schools. And furthermore, we found that over 88% of all school shootings that have happened had someone post online or say through an electronic device in a public forum exactly what they were planning to do. So what we were hoping to do is develop a software that takes these breadcrumbs of evidence and information and compiles them in a way where a school counselor can talk to and de-escalate a student before they act on the threats or the actions that they've said that they want to take towards the school. And we found that bullying is often at the root of this, which then creates a mental health crisis. And with social media being involved, oftentimes you're including a deep fake or maybe a manipulated video or photo, and people pile on in an exponential fashion because so many people are connected online. So now you're being bullied not by one person, but by hundreds or sometimes thousands. So what we're hoping to do is prevent all of that stuff from happening by creating a way to people to anonymously report if they know of someone being bullied or if they themselves are being bullied. And then from there, connect them to a counselor that can help to de-escalate the situation and not only prevent people from getting hurt, but also prevent anyone from going to jail, being arrested, or expelled from school. So this entire process is hoping to prevent proactively and get to the root of before the action occurs, where the mental health crisis becomes a violent act. And thank you for that opportunity, Dr. Nick.
All right. Thanks for the introduction on AllSafe app. Okay, Vivek, let's talk about once the app is done, right? So once the app is done, then you want to start launching it and then start accepting payments, correct? Because you might want to
Exactly.
go ahead and say, okay, now we have this app. Now we want to go ahead and launch it. We want to have subscription days, right? We want to be able to get the counties to pay for something, right? In a bulk basis, right? They can buy in a bulk and then start assigning to parents and stuff. But then this whole project, it's mainly focused on RGC, which is regulatory compliance, right? Uh, and governmental regulatory and compliance. So that's where the area, and this is why this class is compliance class. So we want to focus on, okay, once we get all this set up, AllSafeApp, what do we need to do in terms of connecting with the payments processors, right? And the payments processors, what do they have to do in order to get you all set up? Okay. So I know Costa was working on something, but Vivek, I do not know if you had put something together for this class.
I don't. But I just texted him to see if he's going to be able to join. Maybe he's running into some issues, because I'm sure joining was a priority for him as well today.
Okay. All right. I know he usually shows up a bit later. So David, do you kind of understand where we're going with this project or the assignment?
I think so. So essentially, it's looking into the payment processes necessary once this thing kind of gets up and running. So whether it's
Yes.
a government entity or somebody else that, we can make a seamless process for them to get paid.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll have to go through maybe FinCEN. You'll have to go through uh, CISSP. I mean, all of those bodies that you guys have to check through, like a
Mhm.
checkbox and say, "Okay, in order to get this set up, what do I need to do? Right? Do you
Sure.
need to go hire a firm or the payments guys? What do they need to do? Background check. Now, I understand Kyle is probably 100% American, right? You're US raised and born and raised. But in certain areas, the government requires the principal owner to be a US citizen. So you'll have to do background check on this, right? Because you're dealing with kids, you're dealing with sensitive material here and sensitive folks here, right? So those are the things that I'm looking for in order to get this set up, right? What do you all, as students, you all need to do as consultants to help Kyle, come up with a plan here?
Okay.
So if you
That
don't
sounds
mind,
good.
Dr. Nick, I'd like to touch on that a little bit as well. When we spoke with
Okay, go ahead.
GMA, they specifically said that there's a couple programs that they run as far as compliance and cybersecurity, as well as one called FedRAMP that any of the federal partners will use. And what we're hoping to do is build the schools in a per student, meaning however many heads are registered, we want to have a dollar amount that we come up with that's billed every semester at the beginning of the semester based on the number of students registered. And then that process needs to seamlessly occur where a parent that registers their student at the beginning of the year and they signed up for AllSafe would then, through whatever protocols that county uses, to bill their parents and students for things such as books or tuition or any kind of field trips type of stuff. All that type of stuff goes through their system. So we need to be able to marry up with that existing system regarding 159 separate counties, and they probably all have different variations of that process. So I wanted to kind of just touch on that because it will be a little complicated depending on you go county to county and the variance on that. But thank you for the opportunity, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, Vivek, do you have anything to touch on that, on the back end?
Yeah, I mean, I think as you said, Dr. Nick, we want to have a regulatory framework that's able to satisfy different agencies and payment networks, and uh, and we don't want to get too much into the weeds around how we're going to be accepting payments and for who, but being able to ensure that we are able to stay compliant, because an app like AllSafe can get very deep into the weeds of government records and being audited potentially by the government in the future because of what we're trying to do uh, to keep communities safe. And so ensuring that we're compliant is very critical. So
I think in
I think
case
the work
in
that you're doing
case of
will be very
that, I think it'll
right.
also be a bit high risk because of the age that you're dealing with, right? Remember, you're holding more sensitive information than a regular processor would carry, correct? So you have to be careful with that too. Because I do not know how much information is crossing over to the payments folks, right? I assume in this case it'll be just the parents, most likely, unless they're requesting the child's name to be included in all of this. So that's another thing that we might have to look into, right? Trying to figure out, especially the students of this class, they have to figure out, right? I don't know how many other apps involve something that you have done something like that, right? Because you got K through 12. So David, this project entails from K through 12, possibly going out to universities later on. Okay, but for right now, for this project, we're just gonna assume it's gonna be K through 12. That's all it is. Okay.
You got it.
Like,
And
yeah,
Dr.
and
Nick,
he's
do you
looking
mind
at
if I
it.
throw in a couple things?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we're going to have to make sure that they include an interface that will work on a mobile app with both iOS or Android, but then also a desktop system like if parents are paying from a home computer or a laptop. And then also the encryption notifications for like if somebody does make a change to an account to pay something or register something for a student, I would like the parent to receive an email notification immediately so that they're aware of anything. And then also a location should be notated as well to make sure that the person paying is in the vicinity of where the payment is being made. And then also the two-factor authentication that's so popular now. I think every account needs to be linked to a cell somehow, whether it's a mobile number or a iPad or something. And whether that's a parent or a student's iPad, what that looks like. And then also making sure that we record the IP address of any device that touches our system so that we can backtrace.
I'll just add
But
to
that's
that. Maybe
more on, that's
sorry,
more
I'm
on the
talking.
payments. No worries. Go ahead, Vivek.
I just wanted to touch on your point, Dr. Nick, around other technologies that are leveraging kind of what we're thinking about today and looking to deliver. I think an app is called LiveSafe, probably something that universities use. So wanted to throw that out there as well.
Okay. All right. I think most of this stuff is configured by the processor itself, right? I'm not too concerned about the data capture here because that technology is pretty much, it exists. But we are focused here, like I said, more on the compliance piece of things, right? What happens on the back end, right? I'm looking more for government agencies and make sure Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Amex, or anybody they're accepting, right? That you are covered with them, and also the debit networks. So those are the things that I'm more concerned. It's not about how the data is being captured in a sense, but what happens at the back end of it, right? And
That
remember,
makes
you have to store data for 10 years at least, in terms of the back end stuff, not just the front end, but the back end. Any transactional data would have to be kept for 10 years at least, minimum. So those are the things that the students would have to research and make sure that they take care of on the side. And then also research and see what does the government need additional information, right, for this assignment, right? But I think
So Dr. Nick, are you
what
using a zero trust architecture on everything to where no device is trusted unless it's verified?
I
don't
believe so,
well,
yes.
Okay, and then as far as
Go ahead,
backup,
Vivek.
do we obviously we're going to use cloud backup for a lot of stuff, but do we need to have like a mirror database or some type of like failover servers to back up like that data you said that we have to retain for 10 years? That might need to be in something different than just a standard cloud server. Is that correct?
That would all depend on your processor. Who are you choosing to process with? So if you go with WorldPay, if you go with FIS, if you go with those guys, they usually take care of that at the back end. They do have servers. They have redundant servers in multiple locations, and they also have the cloud. But it's mainly those are all in the back end and it's on the processor side. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now you can get reports from them. They will provide you all of that. This is why you're paying those guys big bucks to take care of information for you, right? So in terms of that, they would have to do all this work in coming to compliance, right? They will have to do the diligence. They'll have to vet you. They'll have to vet anything that comes in. So everything has to be taken care of by them per se, right? So I think that's all I have right now because besides David, there's nobody else here. So maybe we can reconvene in a couple of weeks, right? If students have questions, but I'll post the recording, then perhaps Costa can come in later on, okay? And then if students have
I would
questions,
be
they can
happy
always
to
shoot.
participate as often as you will have me, sir. I would happy.
Okay.
Either I or Vivek or Costa will be here.
Okay. So what we can do is I'll
often as we
throw
can
it
do it, we'd love
to
to.
the class. We'll put a list of questions together. I'm sure David will have a whole bunch once he start doing his research, right? And remember, this
You're
class is
right.
only 7 weeks. So technically, David, you only got 6 weeks or 5 weeks left, I think, for this whole project. So, I mean, has to be done like yesterday. So I think I'm hoping that the class will get started in really soon, though. If not, they're going to be in a heap of trouble. So let's see
Sound
what the
good?
question comes back, though. I'll put it out there. Yeah, I'll put it out there tomorrow and say, guys, please, if you have a question, let's keep a checklist, and then we'll schedule a meeting in 2 weeks and then reconvene. Okay, and I'll post this
And then could
recording
I
out
ask a quick
later.
question, Dr. Nick?
Sure,
So
go
in
ahead.
the process of using the app, I know you mentioned the subscription, right? That people would pay to have the app and the advanced features. But the one thing I did want to mention that's besides just the subscription structure is, say like a parent has their child access the mental health video portal for 15 minutes. And once the 15 minutes is up, at that point, then a student will have to either give insurance information, or a mom or parent or student would enter some form of payment, whether it's a digital pay or some type of debit or credit card. So at that point, that's something even more, I guess, important, because we want to make sure in that critical time when a child is willing to speak with a counselor and the parent may or may not have insurance or is willing to pay out of pocket for additional time, we want to make sure that process does not discourage the parent or the student from proceeding to talk to the counselor because it takes too long or it's too complicated. So as much as, like you said, it needs to be compliant and secure, it also, if possible, needs to be designed in a way where we're in a scenario where if a student is needing to talk to a counselor quickly, that it's not too many steps or it's not too frustrating for the student to actually get that information entered? Or could it send that link to the parent and allow the student to continue the conversation with the counselor, and then the parent pick up the pay part, where you're not interrupting that process of de-escalation? You see what I'm saying? So that's just one thing to think about that came to mind. Sorry.
Okay,
I think
thank
cost
you.
is fine.
Hey guys, apologies for
Yeah,
joining late. Yes. Hi.
no worries. Yeah, no worries. So we were wrapping things up because there's only David here today, right? We were going to come back in 2 weeks and reconvene, because I'm sure I'll get all the list of questions together,
Okay.
right? And then in 2 weeks we can reconvene with all the bunch of questions I'm sure they will have, you know. Then we can go ahead and I'll post all the questions up to you all first before we, get on the call. So at least you'll be prepared. But Kyle and Vivek were kind enough to explain about the product and what they're trying to accomplish. And we did talk about the RGC part of things, right? What is it going to take to be on the platform? The back end side mainly. That's all we focus on, right? And also dealing with the feds and the networks themselves, both credit and debit. Okay. Foster, you got any words of advice for David?
No, none that I can think of. I mean, I apologize for missing. I'm not sure what you already covered, but um, my main thing today
Costa,
was
can you talk to them a little bit about the protocols on the back end, like the stuff when you pay a credit card or a debit card, all the steps that happen from that swipe to to the bank, and then the approvals, and then everything getting sent by an email and all that type of stuff to the user and the parent and all that. Did you go over that with Vivek at all?
no. I mean, like we've discussed. I mean that process is much further in the future. We haven't had any discussions around the design considerations. There's lots of options, obviously. We'd like to see what Dr. Nick's team can propose.
But I
So
think
yeah,
again, right? Those kind of items are covered in our introduction class already. David probably can, he
okay.
can cover all of that. They've already done this from day one. That's covered in the payment processing 101. So
Okay.
they're very well versed on how the whole process works. Again, we
Okay.
want to focus on the compliance side, right? So we're not looking at the
So
front end again, we're looking about the back end.
Hmm.
so you're saying the part that the customer does not see at all. You're talking about the part that only the engineers see.
What is it going to take to set up the whole system? That's what we're looking at. What government agencies are
So
involved? What the networks need to do? What does the consultant need to do for you, right, to get this thing moving forward? What are the background checks that need to be done? Every inch of compliance, regulations, right, governance need to be taken care of. That's what we're looking at here. Not just the system itself, but mainly on that part of things, the laws, right? If you're going to start processing in England and Japan, this is what you're going in the future. So different countries, different laws, right? Different processing methods. I mean, different governmental agencies. So those are the things that we're looking at here, right? In order for you not to break the rules, what do you have to do, or what you shouldn't do, correct? So those are the things that I'm focused here.
Yeah.
Again,
So
this is a compliant.
given that information, I think it's given that context, I think what's important is context itself. What
Yes.
where geolocation, right? So right now we're for 2026, we're only looking at Georgia. 2027, we'll look to expand throughout the country. No plans currently to go international, but it's not off the table. So for the purposes of this exercise, the scope is limited to Georgia for any type of user. Everything is confined to Georgia with future plans to expand to other states. So that answers the jurisdiction question in terms of laws and because different states may have different things for payment processing. Um, and then I think you know
Well,
the
this
the
case,
the
Josh,
other the other thing that's important is sorry, go ahead.
this is going to be interstate, so it falls into the feds. So
Hmm.
it's not going to be in the state level. This you would consider this as a e-com, right? So
Yep.
basically, you're looking at federal laws here. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, the only additional context would be, I know that we're talking about we're excluding a lot of this to back end systems. However, I would say from a context perspective, it's useful to know what is happening, what's driving those back end processes, right? Are we doing, is it B2B, is it B2C, right? Those kind of things are probably important to know for
Yeah.
for different things. So
so
um,
so if you
at
don't
least,
mind, let me just step in right there for 1 second, Costa. So we're going to have the initial payment that we bill at the beginning of every semester will come from a county board of commissioners or school board, or the governing body for that private school, if that's the case. But in most cases, a public school will have a school board that pays the bill each semester based on the number of registered students. But the part that I had brought up earlier is after the 15-minute de-escalation call is over, if a parent would like to pay for their child to continue the conversation, I think what would be very useful and amazing in our system is if before that 15-minute call is up, say like at the 10-minute mark, it sends the parent a notification that doesn't interrupt the call at all and says, your son or daughter is in the middle of a 15-minute de-escalation call with a counselor. They have 5 minutes left. Can you please pay or upload payment information to continue beyond 15 minutes? And then ask the parent, how long would you like to pay for? Right? And then that way, the student isn't left with a hang up or a call that ends in the middle of their conversation and gets frustrated, because then they'll stop using the system and they won't trust it. So that's just something I thought of. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Let's see. David, do you have any questions for the team?
No, but I will admit, I mean, this isn't right here nor there and doesn't have to do with payments, but 20 years ago, right after 9/11, I was a firefighter and EMT and got trained in a lot of this stuff with kids and issues that can come up with that. So it's kind of cool to see what y'all are doing. So side note, doesn't have to do with payments, but this is pretty interesting.
Yeah, these
Thank you
guys
for
are
your
doing
service,
great job.
sir.
No thanks needed. Keep in mind, I did quit and went into wealth management. So
Well, you did your part, man. I mean, you did the service, so I mean, we applaud you for that. It takes a lot, right? So, but again, what they are doing here, David, is amazing, right? They're trying to save lives. So this is
yeah,
why I'm partnering with them to help them out here, to give them
I
everything
think
that they to be successful.
it's necessary now. I mean, the day and age that we live in. I mean, goodness. So no, this is great.
So,
Very cool.
yeah, noble thing though. These guys are doing great things. So I'm
Yeah.
proud of
David,
them.
I would love to chat with you off call sometime about helping us, get moving whenever that time comes.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. I'd love to connect. I mean, shoot, I mean, just to keep up with what y'all are doing. I mean, this is something, I mean, I also have a 10 and an 8-year-old, and bullying has already started for my daughter. I mean, this is way more than y'all wanted to know, but my daughter was harassed last year in 4th grade by a boy. And I
Mm.
mean, 4th grade. Um,
It's
so
becoming a common nowadays, and I'm telling you, it's a common theme, right? The
yeah,
bullying.
I mean, it's something. And I mean, she's fine now, but it's I, when I started hearing about the app, when y'all were talking, I was kind of going, man, this would be kind of cool to have. So, no, this is great. I'm
Yeah,
excited about this.
yeah, me too.
And just to touch on that, Mr. David, we have done intense research since 2022 when Uvalde, Texas happened. And I talked to lots of parents like yourself. And I myself also have 2 young daughters that are about the same age as yours. And the real pain point that parents have is they either one aren't aware, or if they are aware and they say something to the school or say something to the police, but they can't do anything because the kid's either too young or there's not enough evidence or it's hearsay, and it continues and continues and continues. And then a lot of times you might even say something to the children's parents and they don't even care. Oftentimes, like sometimes the parents are like, oh, well, they're kids, and they don't realize how severely it's affecting your kids. And my daughter, my youngest, Claire, had someone that was bullying her in her class and was leaving mean notes on her desk and making her cry with the notes that he was writing. And it little stuff like that, we would tell the school and they were like, we can't really do anything about it, and they moved the kid to another desk and he would just walk over there and put another note on her desk. So like you said, there needs to be something where a child and a parent can access a counselor and let them know what's happening, and then let the counselor intervene with a professional degree and approach the other parent or the other child and try to get it nipped in the bud before it does escalate, like you said, into something more concerning, like physical violence or stalking or whatever that could be. So thank you for your point, sir.
I'm sorry that was a repeated behavior as well. Thanks for letting us know, David.
It happens a lot. I mean, it's I know we're getting way off the main subject here of payments, but it happens a fair amount. I'm just what y'all are talking about kind of hits home. So interesting stuff.
I appreciate you taking a look at this for us. Appreciate your pair of eyes on this.
Good stuff.
Your
I mean, we all
insight is very
parents.
valuable, sir. Thank you.
So thank you all. Thank you all for the great work y'all are doing. Right. And let's touch base in 2 weeks. And David, I'll post something out there in the class tomorrow. Okay. Appreciate y'all.
Sounds great. Thanks, y'all.
Have a good night.
Sounds good. Have a good
Thank
night.
you. Bye.
God bless y'all. Thank you, Dr. Nick, for this opportunity. We really appreciate it.
Anytime, brother. Take care.